And while the smoky conditions are certainly better now than what they were this morning, some Carson City residents saw the skies that were the worst just earlier today. Ryan Kennedy is live in our state capitol this afternoon. And Ryan, talk about what the air quality is like down there now.
Well, Landon, currently conditions are considered unhealthy for sensitive groups. So folks who have respiratory issues, for example, should avoid all outdoor activity. And believe it or not, that's an improvement from earlier today. This view that you see here right behind me wasn't even a view earlier this morning when the air quality was in the very unhealthy range.
You can see it's all here. It looks like a dust coating on the car, and it's actually ash.
Arlie Jensen's drive into work this morning was unusual, to say the least. She says aside from the heat, there were moments that seemed like winter.
You could see little tiny flakes coming down. It was kind of like a little snow flurries a little bit, and it was rather interesting.
But of course, these white particles weren't snow, but rather ash carrying over from fires in California. That, plus dense smoke, made conditions unhealthy and uncomfortable for people in Carson City this morning.
I have daughters that have asthma sometimes, and it's always when the weather's like this and the smoke-induced asthma, then they can't breathe. So I worry for them. And
that concern isn't uncommon in conditions like this, where the hills in the city are hardly visible at a distance. Air quality experts say they'd worry about anyone who might have to breathe in this kind of air for long periods of time.
So when it's very unhealthy, just limit outdoor activity or postpone it altogether.
The same goes for pilots, especially those flying in and out of the Carson City airport earlier today.
This is a general aviation airport, so it's more impacted than, say, Reno Tahoe Airport is.
Since the visibility was obscured at distances of more than 3 miles, only certain pilots were allowed to take off.
About 1.25 miles visibility this morning when I first got here, so that puts them in that instrument flight rule category. Pilot has to be qualified, the airplane properly equipped, and then they are able to fly.
And all pilots do have clearance to come in and out of the Carson City airport now because of improved conditions. And also Gardnerville is reporting they too have improved conditions. They're now considered in the unhealthy for sensitive groups as well. That's an improvement from the hazardous conditions earlier today where no one was suggested to go outside. But now folks who have, again, respiratory issues are encouraged to avoid all outdoor activity. Covering Firewatch Live, Ryan Kennedy, Channel 2 News.